Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama Om Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody.
Hari Om Swamiji, Pranam.
Hari Om
Swamiji. Swamiji, Pranamas. Swamiji.
Pranam.
Pranam Swamiji. Pranam Swamiji. Swamiji. Chapter number 35.
Chapter number 35.
Triambakeshwar. 158. Page number last para.
Last para.
Including second page also.
Tell me.
You read Swamiji.
Chapter beginning with what? Chapter beginning with what?
Heart pouring in the cave. Heart pouring in the cave, I think. Panchavati too. Swamiji.
Swamiji, now parting from the old friend, Ramdas came to the house of the merchant friend.
Triambakeshwar.
Yes, Swamiji.
Which chapter begins with what?
Ramdas came from Panchavati to Triambakeshwar.
No, see, para starts from what? Tell me the first line of the para.
Yes, Swamiji. Now Ramdasa was standing on the brow of a
tremendous precipice. The bottom of the hill could be seen from this place straight down vertically, many hundreds of feet below. Any attempt to walk upon the slope was very dangerous. But a strange fascination seemed to have seized Ramdas. He crept slowly upon the slope. His hold on was thin dried up grass that grew on the hill. Both his hands were engaged in this task. He was now on the slope. It was a condition in which every moment had to be counted. But he was careless and fearless. Suddenly the dried grass in his left hand gave way and his left foot slipped. Ramdas was even now calm and unperturbed, his lips uttering Ram's name aloud. It was rather a very severe test on Ram's powers of protection. But nothing is impossible for the all-powerful Ram. Ramdas's other hand was then grasping a stone, which was also a little shaky. By a concentration of all strength at this point, he recovered his balance, drew up the leg that had slipped. This became all possible by the aid of Ram alone. It was Ram alone who pulled him up. A few minutes later, he was again on the same path that led him to the precipice. While returning, he came across a small tank. Leave it. Now, yes, tell me.
How all-pervading reality protects Ramdasa. Swamiji, all-pervading reality protects Ramdasa.
Yeah, correct. But it is the sincerest test he gave to Ram. Or Ram made him to go through the same test. Just to check up his faith. Whether the concentration on the security of the body tops or his faith tops. So that means when we read this, we come to realize that God will put us into severe tests like this. to test our faith in Him, to test our trust in Him. So even at that time, if we are not to lose our equanimity, Papa, it was possible because he was steadily, regularly dwelling on God remembrance. Otherwise, at that particular moment, anxiety and uncertainty will overpower us. But here we find he was calm and cool. So he is reminding us through this episode, though Ram gives us severe tests, we will be able to get over it, provided we train our mind to get fixed in God remembrance. Not once in a way. Constant remembrance. Otherwise, he will not be able to. Just imagine. He has beautifully portrayed this scene there. Everything, the leg has slipped, hold on the hand is shaky, and how can he come out of it? Something we cannot even imagine now. Sitting here in a comfortable position, we cannot even imagine. But he is reminding us that he will put us into severe tests, just to make our faith more and more firm. Whether we have been able to convert that faith into trust, unshakable trust, which is possible only by constant remembrance, not periodical remembrance. Yes.
Swamiji, what is the difference, faith and trust?
Faith and trust. Trust is, we hand over completely to Him. We may have faith. We all have faith in Papa. We all have faith in Bhagavan. But to be very frank, we don't have trust in Him. That means we are not handed over to Him.
That is the trust. That is the trust.
So we should be able to upgrade our faith to trust. Trust in Him means, we are game.
How to change like that, Swamiji?
How to change the lifestyle? One has to change the lifestyle. Simple life and always remembering about what all He has been giving. And based upon that we chant. Chanting should never be diluted. But chanting should be done with the right perspective, that's all. Yesterday we were reading, Mataji's words. Remember? Forgotten. You have to keep on reminding it. Because she says, it is not enough if you repeat Ram Nam. You must accompany it with intense meditation on the glories of beloved Papa. You should all the time be telling your mind, Papa, you are infinite. Papa, you are all pervading. Papa, you are everything and beyond everything, and so on. Otherwise, all the Ram Nam you do will be superficial only. Just on the surface. If your mind dwells on the divine attributes of beloved Papa, it will lend strength and power to your Ram Nam and help you to see Papa in everyone around you. So during our non-chanting time also, we suppose keep on reminding ourselves that He is everything, He is everything, He is everything. Without Him, I don't exist. Without Him, I don't exist. Without Him, I don't exist. Something, I am not alone, you are with me. Something. That means not only during chanting time.
Always.
That slowly the faith will get transformed into trust. And then when we repeat the universal prayer, we will try to live up it. O Creator, Protector, Destroyer of the world, I come in all humility to thy holy feet and surrender myself entirely to you. But entirely, we will start, we will mean what we say. Now we don't mean what we say. We are just repeating. Superficial level. We always say, we are repeating Papa's Namo, Prabhu Vishwanatha. Initially, without knowing, okay, it's all right, let it get habituated. But slowly now we should get ourselves introduced to the real meaning. O Lord of the universe, O Creator, Protector, Destroyer of the world, I come in all humility to thy holy feet and surrender myself entirely to thee. So then we are now praying, I have not surrendered. Though I am telling I have surrendered, I have not surrendered. Enable me to surrender, please. This we should do as much time as possible during our waking state. And whenever we get time, we should do the Nam also. Our hold on Ram Nam should never be diluted, first place. That will pull us back, even when we go off the line. That will put us on line. Yes.
Swamiji, at the time of Aarti, that Aarti, कर्पूर जो होते हैं ना, बिला, वो 3 लगाते हैं, और इवनिंग समाधि जो होता है, पूजा होता है, वहाँ पर 3 इंस्टेंट स्टिक्स रखते हैं. तो फ्लावरिंग भी मॉर्निंग करते हैं वहाँ पापा वो 3 इंस्टेंट स्टिक्स लगाते हैं.
I am unable to follow.
आपको क्या चाहिए, क्या पूछने का है नरेश जी?
मैं प्रणाम माता जी, मैं ये पूछना चाह रहा था कि जब भी पापा जी के यहाँ और जो समाधि का जो इवनिंग जो पूजा होती है, वहाँ पर 3 इंस्टेंट मतलब 3 अगरबत्ती जलाते हैं, स्टिक्स. और कर्पूर में भी 3 जो है ना राउंड वाले डालते हैं कर्पूर. इसके सिवा वो मतलब 3 ही क्यों ऐसा?
Swamiji, we do Aarati evening 6 o'clock in Samadhi Mandir. We keep 3 places, Aarati thing, 2 Karpur and in between the Batti. So he wants to know what is the significance of it.
Just because we are having a regular program, when we close the program, we show some respect, symbolically. So Arati also symbolically represents that by sadhana we try to become nothing, we sublimate ourselves. The camphor Arati stands for sublimating. That means even after the Arati is over, nothing will be left out. But here, instead of that, we are waving the light. So it can be symbolically make us know that the inner light, I am not aware. I am not aware of the inner light. But waving this, I become aware of the inner light. Kindly enable me to sustain the presence of the inner light in me. That is why many people chant so many mantras. In ashram we don't have anything except Ram Nam. So Jyoti Jyoti Param Jyoti Atma Jyoti Shivosmeham. So in ashram when we do that, in 3 places we don't do it. In 2 places we do with agarbatti as a token, as a symbol of our reverence towards it. The fragrance that when we remember you, we can take it like this. We can interpret like this. That when we do the agarbatti arati, it gives us fragrance. The fragrance of what? When we remember you, what wells up in our mind is symbolically made known as the fragrance. Or another form is we are offering this fragrance at your holy feet. Anyway, it's a question of it is a symbolic expression of our love, regard, our gratitude to him. That's all. If as a devotee, if we can add anything that comes to us, that is also right. Normally, when we do puja, when we do perform arati, these are all the norms tradition gave us. First, we do with one single wick, then multiple wick, and then kapura. So when we used to chant Nadatra Suryo Bhadina Chandra Tarakam, because it is the light of light more than the sun, more than the moon, more than anything. It is the inner light, So through this, do that, and finally when we offer this camphor, it is an act of sublimation. Because after the camphor arati is over, nothing will be left out. So I should become zero. Though I keep on doing sadhana, ultimately I should become like zero, I should become a zero like the camphor. Sublimation of our sense of individuality. These are all the things, that should remind. But normally nobody remembers. At least we do it as an act of our respect, our adoration, our worship. But any interpretation is okay that makes us blissful. We are now trying to connect ourselves with him outwardly, and that will slowly help us to connect with him inwardly.
Pranam Swamiji.
Hariom Swamiji.
Yes.
Pranam Swamiji.
Yes, tell me.
In the 15th chapter, Swamiji.
15th chapter.
Yes, Swamiji.
Tell me.
Swamiji, the Christian friend asked to Papa, what have you got? Meanwhile, Papa said, Swamiji.
15th is the Himalayan journey,
No, Swamiji.
Name of the chapter.
The messenger of God, Swamiji.
The Christ, the messenger.
15th. Sorry. Christ is the messenger of God. Okay.
Swamiji. The Christian friend asked to Papa, Swamiji. What have you got? Papa said, Swamiji, meanwhile Ramdas had placed his pot in the parcel of books in front of the Christian friend. Brother, answered Papa, these 2 articles are yours. You are quite welcome to have them, since Ramdas never owned them. Had he ready any time? Papa said to Swamiji, they belong to anyone who demands them. Papa said, Swamiji, మాతాజీ అంటే పప్ప ఎప్పుడు కన్నడి ఏది ఉంచుకోరు మాతాజీ తెలుగులో
చెప్పండి.
పప్ప ఏంటి తనకు ఇట్లా స్పాంటల్ వెంటనే ఆయన అడగక ముందే తన దగ్గర ఉన్న ముందర పెట్టేసి ఎవరి అనుకుంటే వాళ్ళే అవుతాయి, నాదంటూ ఎప్పుడు ఉంచుకోలేదు నేను అని పప్ప చెప్తారమ్మా.
అంటే మనం అలా చేయడానికి వీలవుతుందానా మీరు అడగడం?
అమ్మో అంత ధైర్యం మా అమ్మ, కానీ కనీసం ఫెయిల్ అవుతున్నాం, కనీసం ఏదైనా చిన్నదన్నా ఫాలో అవడానికి ఆశీర్వదించమని మా స్వామీజీని.
Swamiji, Papa could, he never owned anything. Immediately, spontaneously, he says, just it is yours. And never, ever, any place, anywhere, he never owned. So, she says, he did so much. Is it possible for us to do little at least with your blessing? She wants blessings from you to do a little at least. Little, if she is able to follow. With your blessings, that will be nice, she says.
Thank you, Mother.
We keep praying. It's a beautiful portion which you have brought out. We may not be able to do this 100%, but something we can always do, no? For example, we have a possession. We have something with us. If somebody asks without reluctance whether we are in a position to give, initially no, something may, then again Papa's words will come. At least I can part with this, because he says they belong to anyone who demands them. So if any possession, it is given to us until somebody demands it. Whether it is possible or not, this is what Papa felt, because that is the height of his detachment, height of his non-possession. Aparigraham. Aparigraham is a must. Mentally, we may physically own, but mentally not own. How do we know what is the difference between physically owning and mentally not owning? When somebody asks, we will give. So if somebody develops some curiosity in a particular object which we have, whether we have the readiness to part with it. Let us not think that it is a big job. No. We have seen ordinary people immediately doing it. The moment somebody expresses some wishes, immediately with all joy they give. So it is not something impossible. It is not reserved only for evolved souls like Papa. We have seen that. So we must try.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Always keep on reminding that whatever that is with us at the moment has been given to us until somebody asks. That is the test he gives, whether we have got the sense of possession or not. If we don't have, if he is not testing us, how will we know? Possession by itself is not bad, and without possession, none of us can exist. Even in ashram, we have some possession, but it should be available to anybody. So that I am only a trustee. That slowly it will develop. It's a tall talk now. Slowly it will develop. But in small items. Suppose we try to develop this, it will be possible.
Thank you, sir.
Please think about it. It's a very nice point. Ramdas never hold them as is at any time. They belong to anyone who demands them.
Hariom Swamiji. Chapter number 33, para number 9, 10 and 11, Swamiji. Beginning with, so all the 7 sadhus followed his guide, who led them through several streets. That's 3 paragraph.
Starting with? The paragraph starts with?
So all the 7 sadhus followed his guide. 9th paragraph.
Yes. All the 7 sadhus followed this guide, who led them through several streets until they were brought to the entrance of the host's house. Since there was still time for dinner, the sadhu sat down under the shade of the tree in the compound. Ramdas had just sat down on a log of wood when a sadhu approaching him said, Swamiji, the ticket which was given to me is lost on the way. I have been going without food for 2 days. Shall I be able to secure dinner without a ticket? The only response which Ram made Ramdas to give at that time was to silently and cheerfully hand over to him his own chit and instantly walk out of the place. Yes, correct. This is how they test. This is how we know. So we may not be able to reach up to this level, but we must try. Yeah, remembering these, it will definitely help.
And this is how we can see the internal reality. It is slowly the glimpse of internal reality is perfect.
Yeah. He is testing us through another deserving person. In the form of a deserving person, he comes and stands before us. Whether the me to me dominates or me to we dominates. If the me to me dominates, we will say, we will also try with the manager, we will plead. Otherwise, you are prarabdha, something like that we will say. But if we are steadfast in me to we will immediately give it without asking for anything.
Yes.
But
spontaneously.
So these things are pointed out, prompted by him, and pointed out here now to make us aware that to what extent each one can ask for ourselves, I can make it a reality in my life.
Yes.
At the moment, I cannot think of it, but I will try.
Exactly.
Very good. In-depth study is revealing so many things.
Hari Om, Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam.
23 chapter Swamiji. God never punishes. 83 page number 83. Last paragraph.
Page number 23.
83 page number 83.
83.
83.
Ram, the friend of the poor.
God never punishes. Last para. Look here, Maharaj.
Wait. God never punishes. Yes. Last para.
83 last para. Look here, Maharaj. You are every day going out in midday and wandering about in the hot sun. Your head, which is clean shaven, as always uncovered. If you are obstinate, I shall have to lock you up in temple before I go out. And another page, 84. With this threat, an indication of his great love for Ramdas, he would press him to sleep in the afternoon and would not leave the mandir for midday meals until he saw Ramdas asleep. O Ram, how kind thou art. Here threat. Who is threatening Swamiji? With this threat, Papa used threat. And kindly more details on these 2 paragraphs. And above also, O Panditji, how very kind of 83 pages, Swami. O Pandaji, how very kind you were to.
You are telling about new book or old book?
New book, Swami.
New book. Okay, I have before me the old book. That is why we are struggling.
5th paragraph, Swamiji. 5th paragraph.
Start the paragraph.
Yeah. Look here.
Paragraph.
Look here, Maharaj. Look here, Maharaj. Look here, Maharaj. Look here, Maharaj. You are every day going out.
Yes. You look here, Maharaj. You are every day going out at midday and wandering about in the hot sun. Your head, which is clean shaven, is always uncovered. If you are obstinate, I shall have to lock you up in the temple before I go out. Yes.
Next week. With this threat.
An indication of his great love, he would press him to sleep in the afternoon and would not leave the mandir for midday meal until he saw Ramdas sleep. O Ram, how kind thou art.
Pandaji threatened to Swamiji Papa and Swami Ram to Ram threatened. I think so. Kindly more clarification on these 2 paragraphs.
Who is threatening to whom? Ram is threatening to Ram. That's what he feels. So, Papa, no, that Pandit.
Just like a mother, when the mother observes a child, just imagine, she will also express in the same way. The way of expression may be different, but what is more important is the love behind it. No?
Yes.
It is not threatening, scolding or admonishing or the way that normally we don't take it like that. No. When we were children, mother used to take us into task, If you go out, like that they will say, but we know that they don't mean anything bad. Okay. So here, the Panda was prompted from within to take care of Papa who was neglecting his body. So the expression. Now, what does it convey to us? It conveys to us that we should be sensitive to what is happening in and around us. Panda is doing his job. He can do his job and go out, But he became sensitive to look around. Whether anybody is in need of any service. As a spiritual aspirant, as a devotee, we should become sensitive to the needs and sufferings of the people in and around us. That is the message Papa is giving us through this. Panda has been given a job. But in spite of that, when he saw Papa walking out, he used a stern language, and then Papa had to give in because of the love, because of the love.
Yes, sir.
So an indication of his great love for Ramdas, that is the threat. Though you use the word threat, in order that none of us get into any other meaning, he immediately said an indication of his great love for Ramdas. He would press him to sleep in the afternoon. So that means we should become sensitive. We should keep our eyes open, ears open, to see whether anybody we may not be able to go and embrace the whole world. We have our own limitation, physical limitation, mental limitation, intellectual limitation. But we can certainly do what is within our limits. So this is the message he gives us. I am providing you ample opportunities to expand yourself. You are thinking of something and you are not doing something. You are not doing anything. You are thinking of high ideals, but you are not doing something which is before you. Yeah, correct. That is how we should look at it. We read, we understand, we appreciate, we adore, everything is alright. But what is happening in and around us? Are we become conscious of it? Have we been able to respond to it positively? That should be in our mind. Whatever is possible,
That's right.
We may not be able to do big things, but certainly we may be able to do small things. That is enough. That is enough. That means God, when you are compassionate, you are playing the part of God, Papa used to say. So when we identify ourselves with somebody who is suffering, we immediately bring God into the picture, knowingly or unknowingly. So this is very important. This point has been raised.
Swamiji, care and concern.
Absolute care and concern. Though we say it is care and concern, actually it is a test given to us whether we are trying to open up from the cage of me and mine.
Swami.
No, I have got to go out to office, I have to do something, I cannot do that. I may have lot of explanations. But at the same time, if I have a will to do it, I will break everything and do it. Or I will see to it that the need of the other person is met with. Whatever may be our preoccupations. Just for example, I will tell you that again, when you are in Wayanad, whenever we go in a vehicle, both of us may be there in the vehicle. If somebody is walking, you will immediately stop and take them. Especially school children. Because he says, anyway we have to pay for the diesel, which we have already paid. Instead of travelling to, why not others? It's a simple act. A spontaneous act. Where we are trying to bring out spontaneously a move from me to we. Normally, if it is me to me, I will think, my intellect will not say, oh, there will be a risk involved. We don't know who these people are, what their intention is. Tomorrow if something happens, what will I do? All those things will definitely make us not to do anything. But here, we have seen, spontaneously you stop, you take we are not telling that we should do it from tomorrow. What we are telling is, whatever is possible for us, God is providing various opportunities for us, where we can try to expand from me to we, that we should not miss it. This is what, through the Pandas Act, Papa is making us to think about it. Is that clear?
So I'm clear, Swamiji. Harivam Pranam, sir.
Pranam.
Harivam Swamiji.
Harivam.
The same chapter, last para. That is, God never punishes. The friends at Jhansi, whom he met daily in that city, were all very charitable in disposition. Especially were they kind and hospitable to sadhus. When he was living with Mahadev Prasad, he found this friend a pattern of charity and humility. Mahadev would never send away a hungry man from his door without feeding him. He would forego his own meal to satisfy a hungry man. His heart was so soft and so tender. Mahadev's humility was exemplary. Ram certainly gave Ramdas the society of this friend so that he might know what true charity and humility meant in actual practice. Ramkinkar, the young friend who accompanied him on his pilgrimage to the Himalayas, made it a rule to utilize about 10% of his salary for charity. This is really a beautiful hint for all. While speaking of charity, the ideal of charity followed by the householder of northern India is indeed very noble and lofty. The ideal of the ancients, namely that the householder has no right to exist as such if he does not share his food every day with a hungry man of no means, such as a beggar or a sadhu. In fact, it is declared that a man assumes grihastha with a specific object of carrying out this noble ideal. There were found some grihasthas who would not wait for a guest to turn up, but would go seeking for one in the streets, in temples or dharmashalas. Such is the piety of the householders. Ramdas's experience in South India was also full of incidents in which charity played a most laudable part. In fact, the whole of India is a great land of charity. Papa here makes us aware of the importance of the sharing, caring. The person, whatever possible.
Whatever. Because the days have changed. Nowadays, probably we may not see such type of people every day.
Yes.
But there are many. From Ashram's experience, we can say we have a big directory in Ashram, so to say. Wherever we go out, yesterday also we went out from Shirumala to a place called Patalakund, where orphan girls are taken care of by an organization. Ashram is also supporting whenever it's possible. So we can do like that, no? Not in the same way as suggested or as shown by Mahadev Prasad. For example, whenever we have a birthday celebration or a wedding day celebration or a tithi of those who left their body, Shraddha, if we can make it a point to identify such institutions like school for the handicapped, mentally handicapped, physically handicapped, deaf and dumb, blind, orphanages, destitute home, old age home, like that, there are so many. We go there and give them at least one chocolate,
Yes.
So suppose we try to do that, our younger children, and make it a point to that your grandchildren or your children or grandchildren, they do it. Because then the culture is slowly, invisibly handed down of taking care of the lesser privileged ones. And here we are not doing any charity. The moment we go there, we try to realize how God has been kind enough to give us all faculty. And unless and until we see them, we will not be able to know. I will tell you one incident. Yes, now it comes. When we were in Wayanad, we used to go to Shabarimala. A group of friends will definitely will organize everything. And after the usual traditional way of Irumudikattu, what is to be offered to Bhagavan, there is a small ritual. Then we all leave from Wayanad. First we go to an orphanage in Calicut, where small children of 8 years, 10 years, 11 years, 12 years will be there. The moment we reached there, we told them we are on our way to Shabarimala. Suddenly our friends, who are all well off, materially well off, they suddenly looked at the children and saw their dress. We still remember that incident. Many of them came and told us, if our child wants a frock, we don't mind spending 800 rupees or 700 rupees. And what are we doing? So immediately, the matron was at that time, she was contacted and she came there, made a list of people and the cost of it. Immediately the collection was done and the amount was given. All of them are good. But when they see the people actually, God touches and kindles in them, there is a closeness. We should do something. We remember exactly this word. Suppose my daughter asks for a frock, I will go to the shop and buy. I will not bargain even. And it may cost 500, 600, 700 rupees. We originally thought of giving 1,000 or 2,000 rupees for the orphanage. Now everybody felt, that is not enough. There were about 200 children. Why we mention, the moment you have got the charitable nature, no doubt. But the moment you see the people who are actually in that field, you get touched and kindled. And the goodness in you comes out in the form of charity. So let us all take it when Papa says this. Wonderful point. Papa is raising. Wonderful point. We must have read this many a time, but this has not occurred to us. Everybody is preoccupied with so many things during the day, office hours. So we cannot blame. But on these important days in a year, when we do the so-called celebration, we can do the celebration, not that we should stop celebration. It might be a social need. They are inviting you, you have to invite them, doesn't matter. But along with that, silently you can spot out one incident or one organization and go there, personally give and come back. Personally. And let the younger or youngest generation be involved in it. It's a wonderful point raised. Nowadays we are getting convinced when we said in-depth study, the in-depth study reveals so many things, It is not a tall talk, it is not an impossible thing. Everything is practical, it is possible for all of us to do it.
Yes, sir.
Very good, very good.
Especially Papa has pointed out Grihasthashramam is very
Grihasthashram.
blessed.
Yes,
I hope.
Yeah, wonderful. That point also has to be really understood. Grihasthashrama is the Sreshthashrama. Why, That is the ashrama which takes care of everybody. Everybody. Knowingly or unknowingly. Everybody is doing it. Not that it is a new thing for us. We are all doing it. But do we really eke out the joy behind it? That is important. As Anandashram devotees, we can definitely say, when they bring something there, none of them bother about how it is handled. That much of trust and faith in Papa is there. So that is okay. But wherever we are, that also we should try to spend. We should try to expand our love circle. This is a hint for all of us. Wherever we are, silently do it. Nobody need to know about it. Because it is a part. When we celebrate something at home, with too many dishes, very expensive program. We can set apart at least 10% of it, In a nearby ashram, there is one person who is always, broad-minded. We should say he is evolved soul, young man, very young man. He is a grihastha. He was trying to acquire a land and then build a house, and slowly everything became a reality, and the housewarming day was fixed. So he knows many people invite him. So he has got a big circle of friends. So he was trying to invite so many people on his way to somebody to whom he was trying to invite. He saw an old, a shed. Naturally, he was prompted to stop the car. Absolutely a stranger, Stop the car and found out. Then he found out that there was no roof, only a tarpaulin sheet was tied to 4 poles, and there were mother and 1 or 2 children. Suddenly, when he saw this, he immediately told his wife who was accompanying him, whatever he wanted to spend for the Griha Pravesha, why not we give to this and stop this celebration? She also readily said, yes, we will do that. And he has got, nowadays you have got this WhatsApp group. He simply took a photo and conveyed this. Immediately, so many friends, it touched everybody's heart. Then they are pooled, and ultimately a house was built and given to them. This had happened very near Kashi. So, through this, Papa is making us, you may read so many things about charity, about B2B, about expansion of love. That is not enough. We must keep our eyes open, ears open. God is parading before us wonderful opportunities for us to bring out the godliness in us. Catch that opportunity. If you are missing that opportunity, He will keep quiet. We are the losers. And the moment we step in, everything will be taken care of by Him. Umpteen numbers of instances we have seen where this is possible. So it's a good thing that we have raised this, We should start seeing it, and we may be doing it. What we are suggesting, you may not be doing it. But if you are not doing it, you can please do that. On the important days at home, silently select one institution. Why we say institution, it is an organized one. We may not be able to run an institution like that. Somebody is running that institution. To run an institution means it's no joke. So many untold problems will be there. But when they come to know that somebody is there as a well-wisher, that gives them the boost to carry on with the noble mission.
Yes.
That itself is the moral lift they will get. Apart from our giving, they know that somebody else is also now interested in us. That gives them solace, that gives them a lot of strength in time, because whether an institution is big or small, to run an institution is a tough job. Untold problems will one only have to face. At that time, the ideal should not get diluted. So, our participation, our moral and material support to the extent possible will definitely help to that project. And we may not be able to do the physical work, but we may be able to materially help them. I don't mean giving money. Anything, Suppose you make a visit to such institutions silently and see what they need. When an old age home was set up in Wayanad, somebody came and saw, immediately they went out, one couple. And why they went out, later on they told us that they had gone there for a fridge. Because when you do something for your idli or dosha, it will go bad.
Yes.
Or curd will go bad. Pickles may go. So you need a fridge. According to them, they did not consult us. And when they went to the shop, they did not see the size. So they made them to order for a bigger size and then came and told us, tomorrow you are getting delivery of this. So it becomes spontaneous. Spontaneous. And not a word about it to anybody later or even today. So we have witnessed so many such instances where the goodness is touched and kindled when you are on the field. You will be able to identify what exactly they need. And silently you can go and give. You may be having 2 or 3 at home. But instead of that you can give, even whatever you have you can give. Otherwise you buy and give, that's all. Just like, you identify your own reality, your own need. So these are all some of the ways by which we can expand ourselves, which is the theme pointed out by Papa in this para. The friends at Jhansi, whom he met daily in the city, were all charitable in disposition. And he gives elaborate. So Grihastha-ashrama is a sacred ashrama. God is giving us a wonderful opportunity to serve the sadhus, to serve the deserving ones, not only sadhus. Not only sadhus. Because sadhus, they don't have any income. That is why there's a special mention about sadhus. Whatever said and done, they have developed some vairagya, There is they are aniketas. They don't stay in a place. If you go to Tiruvannamalai, when you go for Girivalam, you will find so many innumerable sadhus. But somebody was kind enough now to put up something like a shed, on the walking space. And somebody is now providing a seat. And we were told that every day, 2 times or 3 times food are also given to them. The person who gives, at times they used to give clothes. At times even in Himalayas, the same thing is going on, even today. Bandara, they call it as Bandara, and on that day so many things to do. Mataji had started this long back in Anandashram. Because any sadhu comes, they will stay for 2 or 3 days. They are not worried about ashram routine, they are not worried about your ideal, your philosophy, nothing. They come there, they stay there for 2 or 3 days, they wash their clothes, dry everything, and at the time of leaving, in whatever way ashram can serve them, it will be done. If they want clothes, that will be given, money will be given, medicine will be given, whatever is available, whatever is possible. Not available, whatever is possible. Somebody will go and buy and give to them. So the Grihastha-ashrama, Papa is gently reminding all the Grihastha-ashramis to take note of this and do in whatever you may be doing it. But now you know that this is a part of our spiritual discipline. A part of our spiritual discipline.
Yes.
Because we are trying to expand ourselves. It is a me to we. It's a me to we exercise. From me to me, me to we. Very good that these points are raised. Very good.
Thank you, Swamiji. Hari Om.
Hari Om. The study is going on well.
Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam.
स्वामी जी ये जो अध्यक्ष श्री रंगम यहाँ पर दिया है। अब नदी में जो धर्मशाला में जो साधु लोग ठहरते हैं वहाँ पर पापा जी भी पहुँचते हैं और पापा जी उस साधुओं के बीच बैठ जाते हैं और जो तिरछी से उनको मिला एक लोटा वहाँ रखते हैं।
श्रीरंगम।
हाँ जी, हाँ जी। जब भिक्षा के लिए तो तिरछी से मिला लोटा वहाँ आगे रख देते हैं। ये लोटा क्यों आगे रखे पापा जी?
भिक्षा के लिए। Swamiji is asking why Papa has kept the lota in front while sitting with the sadhus.
Just before that, he has taken a vow, The body be maintained and fed upon the food procured by Bhiksha or on what was offered as alms. So from that moment onwards, the moment, it's a wonderful point again you have stressed.
शपथ ली थी उन्होंने, शपथ ली थी नरेश जी।
When we take a resolve, it is not a mere verbal assertion. We mean it, 100% we mean it. So when he took the sannyas, the third vow was, the body be maintained and fed upon the food procured by Bhiksha or on what was offered as alms. So from that moment onwards, he has to live on Bhiksha only. That is why he placed his lota before everybody. He was having money. Till the next chapter you will find he was having 9 rupees. Of today's 9,000 or 90,000 rupees, in 23. But he did not touch it. So that is not his. He has taken a vow that he will live on alms only. So that is why he spread. And next moment he dispersed whatever he had and his hands became clean, free from any possession.
और यहाँ पर पापा जी ने भी जो धर्मशाला में जो साधु लोग निराश थे, जिन्होंने राम भजन गाया था सारा दिन के 12 बज गए, उनको फिर से भिक्षा में जो कपड़े में सिर्फ 3 पैसे मिलते हैं, वो लोग निराश थे। तो पापा जी ने बताया है कि आप निराश मत होइए, आपको जो आपने राम नाम लिया है, आपसे वहां से मतलब निराश होने का नहीं है। वो कृपालु है, वो दयालु है। बहुत अच्छी तरह यहाँ पर उन्होंने वर्णन किया है।
Correct. So not only that he was able to keep up the resolve, the vow, but also he was able to, he became sensitive to the demands and suffering of the people in and around him. He was not bothering only about his sadhana. When he knew that the 2 people who were chanting, they did not, on that day God did not make him to receive so many, and whatever they received, which was hardly enough to meet their requirement. Suddenly, Papa realized that is why he was placed there, and he paid 1 rupee. 1 rupee means a big amount on those days, very big amount. So the message is, one should, when we make a resolve, we should hold on to it, come what may. Number 1. Number 2, under the banner of doing spiritual activities, we should not become insensitive to the demand and suffering of the people in and around us. Again, the same thing. So these are all some of the learnings, we get by going in deeply into the text in quest of God. And let us not bother about the repetition. Even if somebody has pointed out earlier, if it strikes to anybody, they must point out again. There is a purpose behind this repetitive performance. Because repetitive performance alone can lead an indelible impression in us. It's a must. So in a way, this matter has been dealt with, but doesn't matter. If again it strikes to somebody, please come bring it out. It is for the good of all of us. You have to keep on reminding, otherwise, it will become diluted. As we are preoccupied with so many other things, not that we don't mean anything bad, but it may not have the same tempo, same tempo that was there sometime before. Because in everybody's life, in the waking state, the sattvic, tamasic and rajasic tendencies keep on vacillating. So whenever we are in a sattvic mood, whatever strikes to us, we must try to dwell upon it. Is that clear?
Thank you, Swami ji. आपने बहुत अच्छी तरह से आपने explain किया है. Thank you.
Very good, very good. So as usual, Papa made this today is also very lively. Tomorrow is Sunday? No, Saturday. Tomorrow we will have, yes. We are now in Chennai, in Karthik's house. Today afternoon we reached here from Chirumalai. And we will be here. Tomorrow we have a Satsang program, and then we may be moving to Prem Nagar for a week stay. And after that, let us see how things are shaping. So tomorrow we will again meet. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.